On the 11th of March 2011, a 9.1 magnitude earthquake struck off the east coast of Japan, triggering one of the worst nuclear disasters in history at the Fukushima nuclear power station. Hundreds of thousands of people were evacuated from the area, and 8 years later, only a fraction have returned home. What you can see behind me is the no-go area, which today we are going to go and explore. So we have just entered the no-go zone. We've been told that we can't open our windows because if we do, the radiation will reach dangerous levels. So what I have here is my Geiger counter, and this detects radiation in the area. Safe level is 0.15, something like that is what you'd get in Tokyo, but I'm watching it here and it's going up and up fairly quickly, and as we get closer and closer to the nuclear power plant, it's going to reach levels that are beyond the recommended hourly allowance. There's something quite unnerving about seeing this go up and up. After the meltdown, the Japanese government began the biggest nuclear cleanup operation in history. Today, large parts of the original restriction zone have been deemed safe to return to, but there are some areas in the immediate vicinity of the power plant where radiation levels are still too high to be outside. Ooh, it's going up. Like in Chernobyl, there are now a handful of tour companies running trips to the Fukushima area. I met up with a tour guide to take a look around the towns that have been left behind since the disaster. So we're here in Namiya town. Back in 2011, the population here was 21,000. Fast forward 8 years, the population is 1,000. This was part of the evacuation zone, and even though it is now safe to come back here, the number of people who have come back has been really small. And there's something completely disarming about walking around and just seeing that it's been stuck in the exact same state as it was 8 years ago. What we've got here is somebody's home that has been left completely abandoned. Clearly a family lived here. There's something incredibly eerie, but even more than that, just desperately sad about this vision of a home that a family has been forced to leave behind. Where we are right here, there would have been a house.
Of course. Yes.
It's completely deserted, isn't it? There's just a few cars coming through.
It's very sad.
It is sad. Your parents used to run a jewelry shop here.
はい、そうです。
Tell me what happened to the jewelry shop after the nuclear disaster.
で、その間、おそらく2日目か3日目の間に店の中のもの、宝飾とか時計とか、あと実は電気店もやってたんですね。家電製品もあったんだけれども、運べるものはみんななくなっていました。
So how did it feel when you first came back to this town after the nuclear disaster?
ドキドキの20分間、限られた時間で自分がしなきゃいけないことをやらなきゃいけなかった。究極の20分間。まず音がしなかった。本当にシーンという音が聞こえるほどのこの街に音がなかった。
While the majority of residents followed the government orders and evacuated the area after the nuclear disaster, there is one man who refused to be moved. I went to visit Masami Yoshizawa, a cattle farmer who's made it his life mission to raise awareness about the unreported damage done by the disaster.
I am Cowboy. Resistance. Kamikaze. Cow terrorist. Not violence.
It's clear Masami isn't going anywhere, but I wanted to know why he's decided to keep his contaminated cows alive, and why he's welcoming in tourists like me.
2011年の5月に入ると、こういう生き残った家畜に対する処分というのが命じられたんですね。牛たちはもう避難させることができなかったと。繋いだまま餓死全滅したという写真です。だいたいこういう形で餓死した牛がこの近所で1500頭、います。逃げ回っている生き残った豚がそこらで逃げ回ってます。それから牛たちがそこら辺で要するにこれらは邪魔者だと 全部殺して片付けるようにという国の命令なんですね。国に対する相当ここはね反政府的な場所なんです。
It's been a fascinating experience hearing the human stories behind the Fukushima disaster. But the question is now the right time for tourists to come back?
We conduct a tour. We can guarantee it's safe. 8 years have passed since the disaster and things going on here. If they come and learn about Fukushima, they will know it's safe. It will be very good to remove the prejudice about Fukushima. And of course, people spend money here, and it will be very good for the economy of Fukushima.
Every year, the restriction zone around the Fukushima nuclear power plant is shrinking, but the problem they face is finding ways to lure people to come back here. Firstly, for safety reasons, they need to show people that it is safe. So what tourism brings to the area is, yes, a fascinating insight into a post-apocalyptic nuclear zone, but also by spending money in the cafes and petrol stations here, tourists are helping to bring green shoots back to this devastated part of the world.